Once great games and great franchises that you could trust for fun, quality content are now unenjoyable slogs to play with your fan favorite franchises. So what's going on with AAA? How do these games with such high budgets and long periods of development time come out to only meet poor reception among mainly fans but also critics? What happened? Okay. Why are games nowadays being released in worse states than they were in 1999? Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, No Man's Sky, Cyberpunk 2077, Fallout 76, Battlefield 2042, Modern Warfare 3, Anthem, etc. I could probably list games all day, but I don't have all day. Like most people, I don't want to pay $60 for No Man's Sky when it's so unfinished. No, I don't care that you finish the game down the line. You released it finished, AAA. You have the time and budget. Here, I'm playing an itch.io game that has more content than Anthem. We want finished games. Ever since going digital, companies don't even bother to finish the games they make. How is Pokemon with guns more polished than a real Pokemon game? Hogwarts, I gotta fix the bug where I can't play? Releasing something that should have been in the original is not DLC, guys. It's not. Todd Howard, owner of Bethesda, has a habit of overselling his games. When Fallout 76 was revealed at E3, he claimed wild things about this game, the most notorious being the 16 times the detail, along with all new lighting, rendering, and landscape technology, and in fact, you'll never see a silver when you play. It doesn't just happen with Fallout 76 though. It happens with most of Bethesda releases, tracing back to Oblivion, released on May 18th, 2005. Skipping Oblivion though because it's not interesting. In Fallout 3, he said there would be over 200 different endings. There were 3. Skipping in time again, at E3 2015, Todd claimed that Fallout 4 works perfectly. A bit of an exaggeration considering how buggy this game was at launch. So why did I bring this up? It's because Bethesda does what I think Point 2 is all about perfectly. Point 2, don't oversell your product compared to what it is. That just creates massive hype for the game and expectations you can't reach. Maybe you wouldn't have to do this in the first place if your game worked in the first place. Just sell your game as what it is and you'll get customers. Just look at the mascot horror community. Crash Bandicoot 4 is my favorite Activision game, hilariously thanks to Toys for Bob. It just nails the platforming. The movement feels smooth and responsive, rarely do the devs ever feel like the game's fault. It also has replayability, important for good platformers, in my opinion. Hello Neighbor should have not gone for such a platformer-heavy gameplay style, though. You already know this. The platforming is unresponsive and annoying. Downward getting tedious at many points in your playthrough. Sonic Frontiers is just an awful game, though. I, somehow, managed to play 12 hours of this god-awful game. The platforming in Sonic Frontiers is annoying and rarely does it feel like your fault for failing or dying. I got past the force to be thrown into a desert that feels the same and barely offers any variety in all 4 aspects, including platforming. Why do you think Crash 4 introduced those masks? Even if it was for story, it also spiced up gameplay and variety, which I definitely think had an influence on why they were added. Cuphead has run and gun levels. While being the weakest part of the game, they are enjoyable with fun platforming. There aren't a lot of them, so it doesn't get repetitive, and they have different places to spice up gameplay. Sonic Frontiers? The platforming is smooth and responsive, so it rarely does a death feel like the game's fault. Just started playing Hollow Knight, but I'm sure it has good platforming. Plus, another good one, Unravel, specifically 1, has great platforming as well. Fits all 3 requirements I listed above. Yes, this all has a purpose, and that's point 3. Point 3. What does this game do well? The platforming genre was an example of this. Sonic Frontiers splits itself into an open world action adventure and a platforming game to the point where none of the 3 are good. For Crash Bandicoot 4, Activision, even though they are bad, knew people won't play for an open world experience. They wanted good platforming. While they did add a story, which was a great choice on their part, it did not deviate from the focus at all, being able to make a great platforming game. Also, there were people who cared about the project, but we'll talk about that later. For Sonic Frontiers, by trying to hop on a bandwagon, they kinda ruined what made the original good in the first place. Of course, add new things, just don't ruin what's already there. Horizon Forbidden West and Horizon Zero Dawn did this well, Zero Dawn being the first one and Forbidden West being the second to those people who don't know. Zero Dawn had great gameplay and a great open world while telling a fantastic story. Forbidden West did what the first game did, slash Zero Dawn, and improved parts of it while expanding the story. It's a good sequel, it's just not as good of a game as the first one though. To understand my thoughts on the sequel, I'll write it in the description. It captured what drew people into the first one and replicated it while improving aspects of it. Sonic Frontiers just didn't do that at all. Diablo 4 is a game I personally enjoyed, but probably won't play again. The third one though, I definitely will. The third one has more characters and better gameplay and story and fixtures, and really just better everything. Wasn't always as good. The game launched with awful server issues and couldn't be played offline. There was also a real-life money auction where items could be sold for real-life money, effectively making the game pay to win. Later it was shut down, like a few years later, and the server issues were fixed. They fixed bugs and later released an expansion to add more endgame content. They were working on a second when higher-ups told them to jump ship because, in their words, it was a failed project. Diablo 4 was alright, but then they added a Season 1 pass. It brought more issues than good. I mean, the clip I'm about to show you will probably make you understand the point I'm trying to make here.
Battle Pass, Battle Pass, Battle Pass,
Battle Pass.
Battle Pass, Battle Pass.
I paid $60 for this game. At least Fortnite is free, not to mention the Active Blizzard put the Activate Premium button near a button you press a lot, without even adding a confirmation screen. I do want to say they might have changed this, but I don't know. My sources say this was an issue when the Season 1 pass was released. There's many of these throughout the game, except here. Okay though, Diablo 3 isn't perfect, but I love it nonetheless. Maybe it's not a best example, but dude, I'm running out of games I've played/own on Steam that I can talk about to help bring up my point, and all AAA. But I have another, my last card, which is a hack and slash. First, I should probably bring up the point, so you understand what I mean when I talk about Diablo 3 isn't the perfect example. Number 4, make your game with care and passion. Obviously, this point has lots to do with microtransactions. Just look at EA. Active Blizzard isn't much better with this, though. I'll try my best not to talk about microtransactions too much, but I will a little. I want to save a lot of that for my pay-to-win video. Anyways, Path of Exile is a free kind of pay-to-win game because of the bank slots you can buy in the store. I didn't really pay attention. I would argue that Diablo 4 is worse, but dude, we're getting ahead of ourselves. What I wanted to do is look at the Steam page. I think interacting with the community and giving constant good updates to your game is great and shows that you're trying to make an enjoyable game. I think most players would agree with me. Not mentioning that there was no Battle Pass system. Oh, speaking of Battle Passes, we should talk about Diablo 4. Wow, it's predatory. You get 666 Platinum from the Season 1 Battle Pass, by the time I was still playing. The cheapest item was 800 Platinum, I believe. Not mentioning that they sell all the cool skins at the cash shop, milking us players dry. My male sorcerer looks awful in all his outfits. The others aren't great, but not as bad, at least in male form. The male hunter actually looks some cool in some armors. Can't speak on the females, but from what I remember, they have better, cooler outfits because someone had played as females and I saw the characters. From what I remember, I do think my male sorcerer looks awful, and I do think a lot of the cooler outfits were in the cash shop because, well, they wanted people to buy stuff. I don't want to buy something. It's just kind of setting up a paywall for players to not look cool. Like said above, Crash 4 has the player experience in mind. I don't know why companies don't know that fun games attract more players. Wait, they do. It's just the whales that produce some more money. Whales. Why do you think indie games are getting more popular? It's because they have the player experience in mind and care about what they're making. They have passion and pour their heart into their products. Meanwhile, we have MWC, supposed to be an MW2 expansion, but changed by Goblin Bobby to be MWC. Okay, that section is now done. I want to talk about indie and AA games too, though, so it's after this recap. I might do it once, script writing me hasn't decided. Anyways, let's recap. Point 1, release finished games. Compare Anthem to Hollow Knight. Guess which game was more finished? Come on, BioWare, finish your product. This wasn't even much of EA's fault, shockingly. It was little of EA's fault, but mainly BioWare's. To point 2, don't be Todd Howard. Pretty self-explanatory. Don't oversell your product, just sell it to the right audience. Also, if you finished a product, maybe it would sell better. Just a thought. Point 3. What does it do well? Make the game do one thing exceptionally well. Of course, add other stuff that help elevate the core gameplay loop. Kinda goes hand in hand with 2. In fact, all 3 kind of hold hands. And point 4. Care and add passion to the game. I would say this is the most important of the 4. Really, just make the best experience you possibly can and add regular updates to the experience. And interact with the community. Just hire a community manager. Just for the record, this guy also holds hands with the other 3. In other words, do the opposite of Blizzard. Powell is either an indie or AA game. Google didn't really help with this one. Anyways, checkbox time. Number 1, is it a finished game? Well, no, but it's an early access game. I still won't count it since it's more finished than most AAA games nowadays. Number 2, is it Todd Howard? No, it was advertised as Pokemon with guns, and that's exactly what it is. Number 3, does it do anything well? Yeah, survival and combat. They were going for Pokemon with guns, and if the Pokemon company never picks up this idea, this is the closest we're ever gonna have. Pals fight with one another, and the survival elements are fun. Probably the most fun I'll have in a sandbox game, besides Nevergrave, because that game is very fun. Finally, 4, is it made with care and passion? Again, yes, they have their fans in mind and try to build the game to their best of abilities with regular updates and regular interactions with the community. They have other stuff that makes the game fun, but this is the base for a great game, and I can vouch for that. This game is pretty good. Next. Cuphead is an indie game, and I've played it, so let's do it. Number 1, was it released finished? I think so, if most companies can't do anymore. Number 2, was it Bethesda? Probably not, I mean based off reception. No, I can't say though since I was not there for launch. Number 3, did it do something well? Definitely. Boss fights. It's what this game's known for. Every boss is praised. Boss fights have different mechanics with great difficulty enhanced by your combat abilities. Let's play different styles. Well, yeah, go ahead, you can. Not to mention they leaned into this by creating so many boss fights. Finally, 4. Was it made with care and passion? For sure, I mean they hand drew all of the game. Always. That is all the proof you need. I would have done Hollow Knight, but I haven't played enough of it to judge it. Anyways, I saw Doing Indie recommend an indie game at the end of their video, so I stole it and enjoy. Anyways, I did not know that way to put this, but I'm adding bloopers at the end. See what I mean by watching the recommendation? Or skipping it, but please watch the recommendation for your muzzle. Sheepy, a short adventure found on itch.io. Usually the site is full of dumb horror games or just funny games, but not this. This game tells you a story through its environment. Graphically, it looks better than most AAA games because it has a style. I might do a video on what I call AAA style because all AAA games look so similar. Those games try and look as real as possible when, in every community, they just start looking generic. To look good, you have to have style. And this game looks similar to Hollow Knight, but it makes it look different enough. They add depth to a 2D game. Audio logs around the map was something I wanted to listen to. The voice acting and the sound effects were great, even if they weren't used to tell you this straightforward story. People like Dark Souls for this reason, and this game uses it perfectly, in my opinion. Movement was fluid and felt awesome. The world was fun to explore, and I wanted to know what happened to it. The atmosphere fits perfectly, and the music was fantastic. I would listen to the music track all day if I had to. You know what? It's free somehow, and I suggest you go check it out. It's made by Suicide Sheep on itch.io. It's called Sheep Be a Short Adventure, as you know. If you want an amazing short experience, around an hour and 30 minutes, go play it. And Goofball is my favorite Activision. Hilariously, thanks for Toys to Bob. Toys to Bob? No, it's Toys for. No, I put Toy for Bob. It's Toys for Bob. Not even my script, only got this right. The movement feels smooth and responsive. Rarely do the deaths ever feel like your fault. Rarely do the deaths ever feel like your fault. Oh my god, was I on drugs when writing this? Sonic Frontiers is just an awful game. Plain out saying it, just an awful game. I somehow planaged. And my thoughts on the sequel, I'll link it in the description. Oh my god, why did I say that? No, it's it captured.